All right, so our last review unit for the trig is about unit circles. So I know in Math 3, all of you finished unit circles last year. So we're going to talk about creating the unit circle um, from the two basic circles. So the unit circle is basically based on a circle that has a radius of 1. So if it has a radius of 1, then this point right here is at the point 1, 0. And this point right here is at the point 0, 1. This is the point -1, 0. And this is the point 0, -1. And I know that circles don't have corners, but I call these the corners of our unit circle because this is the XY axis, and these are the places on the circle that cross the XY axis. So we talk about a circle having 360 degrees. So half of that would be 180 degrees. I'll put this on the inside here. Half of 180 is 90 degrees. So if that's 90, that's 180. That makes this 270 degrees. So if we split this 90 degrees, you notice there's only two pieces here. In half, that makes this 45 degrees. So I call this the 45-degree circle, okay? So each of these pieces is 45 degrees. So 45 plus 45 is 90, plus 45 is 135, plus 45 is 180, plus 45 is 225, plus 45 is 270, plus 45 is 315 degrees. Now, life would be good if we could stay in degrees, but we also have to do what's called radians. And so in radians, that's when we do radians, that's when we have to deal with pies. And so a whole circle is 2 pi. So a half of a circle would be pi, and half of that would be pi, half of pi, or pi over 2. So a half of a half is a fourth. So we say that this is a fourth pi, or pi over 4. So the 45-degree circle is also the pi over 4 circle. So if we count, I'm gonna teach you to count the circles. So we're gonna count by fourths. So 1/4 is this, 2/4 is this point right here, which reduces to a half, which is what we have. This is 1/4, 2/4, so that makes this 3/4. So this is the 3 pi over 4 spot. This is 4/4, which is 1, which is what we have here. This is 5/4, which would be 5 pi over 4. This would be 6/4, which reduces to 3/2, or 3 pi over 2. And this would be 7/4, or 7 pi over 4. And then 8/4, which is 2. Okay? We don't do much with this in this class, but I wanted you to also have this, that in order to turn radians into degrees or degrees into radians, this is what you would do. So if you wanted degrees to be radians, you do pi times 180 times the degrees gives you radians, and 180 divided by pi times radians would give you degrees. All right, so this is what you would do. So let's move on to our other circle here. So again, we start with the corners of our circle here. So this is 1, 0. This is 0, 1. This is -1, 0. This is 0, -1. Now, again, with the degrees, this is 360 degrees. This is 180 degrees. This is 90 degrees. This is 270 degrees. Now, you'll notice that I split each of these quadrants now in thirds. So 90 degrees divided by 3 makes 30 degrees. So now we have 30 degrees, and we're going to count. This is our 30-degree circle. So we're going to count by 30. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, plus 30 is 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, and 330. And if we go back to our pi's, remember this is 2 pi. So this is pi. We said this is half pi, or pi over 2. And our other corner here is 3 pi over 2. So a half times, we've split each of these in thirds, is a 6. So this is now the pi over 6. So this 30 degrees is the pi over 6 circle. So if we count by 6 now, 1 6, this is 2 6, but that reduces to 1/3. So this is pi over 3. This is 3 6, which is a half. This is 4 6, which is 2/3, or 2 pi over 3. This is 5 6, or 5 pi over 6. This is 6 6, which is 1, which is what we have here. This is 7 6, which is 7 pi over 6. This is 8 6, which is 4/3, or 4 pi over 3. This is 9 6, which is 3 over 2, which is what we have. This is 10 6, which is 5 over 3. Or 5 pi over 3. And this is 11 6, which is 11 pi over 6. And 12 6, which is 2. Okay, so now we're going to take these two circles, we're going to put them together in this one big circle. Okay, so again, we're going to start with our corners. Okay, so remember our corners are 1 0, 0 1, -1 0, and 0 -1. We're going to go ahead and put our degrees and our pi's here. So when we start here, this is 0 degrees or 0 pi. When we get all the way around, this is 360 degrees or 2 pi. We already said that this is 180 degrees or pi. This is 90 degrees or pi over 2. And this is 270 degrees or 3 pi over 2. Okay? Now, let's start with our pi over 4 circle. So our pi over 4 circle is all the middle ones. So that's these ones in the middle. So that's our 45 degrees or pi over 4 here in the middle. So that 45 plus 45 is 90, plus 45 is 135 degrees, plus 45 is 180, plus 45 is 225, plus 45 is 270, plus 45 is 315. And remember, if we're counting 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, and 7/4. Okay? So now we're going to do our "30-degree circle or pi over 6. And our 30-degree circle goes 60 degrees. Pi over 6 makes pi over 3, 90, 30, 60, 90, 120. 2 pi over 3, because it's 16263646. Then we get 5, 6, which is 150, 6, 6, 7, 6, which is 180 plus 30 makes 210. Plus 30 makes 240. 7, 6, 8, 6 makes 4 pi over 3. 270, 300. So 8, 6, 9, 6, 10, 6 makes 5 pi over 3. And the last one here is 330, or 11 pi over 6. Now, what about all these other points? Well, there's a trick to these other points, okay? The trick is that on all these other points, all of them are over 2. Every single one of them is over 2. Every single one of them is over 2 and a square root on top. So if you'll start with over 2 and a square root on top, then I'll show you how to count them from there. So over 2 and a square root on top over 2 and a square root on top. Okay, so let's start in this first quadrant. There's a pattern here that hopefully you'll see here in just a minute. So I'm just going to pick one color here. So there's 0 on the outside here. Going up on the outside, we get 0, 1, 2, 3. And going 0 on the inside going down, we get 0, 1, 2, 3. If we do that same thing down here, we got 0 on the outside going down. We got 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 on the inside going up. We got 1, 2, 3. 0 on the outside going up. 1, 2, 3. 0 on the inside coming down. 1, 2, 3. 0 on the inside going up. 1, 2, 3. 0 on the outside coming down. 1, 2, 3. Now, can this point and this point be the same? No, it can't be the same because obviously there are different quadrants, right? Remember that when you're talking about quadrants, this is your XY axis, right? And so this is your first quadrant here. And so in your first quadrant, those are positive, positive. This is negative, positive. So that means all your X values here are negative. Over here, these are positive, negative. So all your Y values are negative here. Here, your third quadrant, both are negative. So all your values are negative here. And that's your unit circle. And if you'll notice, I did this on purpose, changing the colors, because all of these greens, the bottoms are all 6s. See them? And all the points are square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. All the blues are over 3s, and they're all square root of 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 1 over 2, square root of 3 over 2. All the reds are pi over 4s, and they're all square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Okay? the thing that you have to do for these is be able to identify these 6 trig functions. Well, what comes first in the alphabet, C or S? Well, hopefully you say C. And X comes first before Y in the alphabet. So for this particular IXL you're going to have to do, if I said, find the sine of 315 degrees. Well, you'd go right here to 315 degrees, and that's the Y value. So you'd find the Y value, which is right here, and the sine of 315 degrees is negative square root of 2 over 2. If I said, find the cosine of 207 of, let's say, 3 pi over 2, you would go to 3 pi over 2 right here. You would find the X value, because that's what cosine is, and you would tell me that it's 0. Tangent would be Y divided by X. You won't have to do these for IXL, you just have to do these, but you should know that secant is 1 over X, cosecant is 1 over Y, and cotangent is X over Y. Okay? And that's all you need to know for unit circle.